work out, do they give a certain percentage, say for instance for governors or deputy governors or in the House of Representatives or in the Senate? How can this mix work? Should women be given a chance, or do women fight for that chance? What do you think?
Yes, I think both. Now, they should fight for the chance. But where we see that it's not really, because the truth is that the environment is not conducive for them. There is a lot of thuggery. There is a lot of things involved in politicking this time. So it's really, the terrain is very bad. The rigging, sometimes they cannot stand to the rigging system that we have. So, and that limits what they can do. As a result, we may have to do a kind of form of compensation to say, oh, look, please, but it has to be an agreed thing. Let's give them a minimum of 40% to a minimum of 50% or a minimum of 30%, whatever the political class will agree. They should be given not just deputy governors. Some states should be able to, make them governors. In France, look at the example Macron has, gave. 22 ministers, 11 women. And we have other places where you have the Chancellor of Germany, a woman, United Kingdom. So
Canada as well.
Canada as well.
Also pushing it.
Yeah. So you see that we are moving, and we ought to. Till date, the only woman that became governor was a default thing. Till date in Nigeria. So why are we still lagging this behind? It's not like women cannot win elections if you provide a level playing ground, if you allow them to campaign, if you allow them to work hard on it. If you remove violence, I think they can excel. So let's do the right things. They will excel. They will, even before you know it, you may start having them at being 60%, 70%.
But we have to push towards ensuring that those hurdles are removed. Because if we sit back, nobody will remove them.
Oh, yeah. And then the money question, the cash involved in election, that is one big, very, very big issue. Women are seen to not have that capacity or that kind of money. Correct me if I'm wrong. But how will money politics help the women to have their footings when it comes to politics?
Now, the greater part of the money that is used in politics is to destroy the electoral system, to bribe the necessary steps. They would have, and people will support them with the minimum they need to campaign. You see, people can really win an election without so much money being pumped into the system. Go and check. Every politician will tell you that he or she spent 70% of this money in bribing, getting some systems to bend, not necessarily in voter mobilization.
Who will listen to you if you don't come with the money? I mean, it's a typical thing in the country. Come with the money and you're getting the votes. Who is going to listen to you if you don't come with the money?
No, people do. I know people do. The only thing is that when people perceive that you don't have the money, they feel that you cannot go through the process. Therefore, they want to join the winner. But once the electoral system is not, because take for instance, if you have a zone where you have 1 million voters, for instance, in a senatorial zone where you have, in a state where you have 1 million voters, how many people are you going to pay to vote for you? If there are 1 million voters, so you can actually mobilize 700,000 voters. How many? These people that they are giving money, they are not up to 50,000. When you exhaust your money with 50, 100,000, because sometimes when you give out money for people to give, they embezzle that money. It won't get anywhere. So it still gets to less than 10% of the voters.
So how do we get
that? So the remaining ones can actually vote for the other person.
How do we get that as an amended part of the process that is going on now?
No, it's a gradual thing. First, remove violence. Second, remove rigging. It's not like immediately you remove them, you get to the promised land. But when you remove them, you now start seeing people who without money can mobilize. In a community, for instance, there are people who are great mobilizers. They don't have money, but they are great mobilizers. They can mobilize. There are very good people, and in some areas where churches are involved, or who say, oh, this is the person we want, and it works out. So you see, there are some people there are some NGOs that can decide to be part of the electioneering, voter education. Please vote for people you can trust. I know in many states it's going on.
One more thing, because I know that diaspora voting, we understand that there was a court judgment in 2012 that INEC should go ahead and implement that. So is there any law that stops INEC from carrying on with diaspora voting or out-of-country voting?
You know, in Nigeria, when we don't want to do anything, we say there is no legislation. It's only when legislation prohibits you from doing. There is nothing in the INEC Act that says they shouldn't allow diaspora voting. It's only that they feel they are not logistically ready to do that. That's their own feeling. Otherwise, if they want to do that, these are Nigerians.
Okay, we should get some response about that. But we have to thank you for coming on. Chukwuma Ezeala is a legal practitioner. Thank you for your thoughts today.